Are we recording?
Yeah. This is Roth Conrad on American Safari in Chicago. Today, this kid that I grew up with, Michael Clarke, known him since before I can remember.
It's true.
And before that. Sorry.
Can we raise the lights, Roth? I think this creates some funny shadows in my eyes. And
No, we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
You sure?
Yeah, it's just the angle you were looking at that.
Yeah. Doesn't make me look old, does it?
No, you look like you're 15.
That's not true. Not in the slightest.
Let's go ahead and just start. I know you said you're just going to fill time and things, which is perfect. What were you going to tell me about your shirt?
I'm going to ramble. This shirt belonged to my father, and I wore it a lot, off and on, since I inherited it from him when I was probably like 16 years old.
Does he know you have it?
And yeah, he does know I have it. And this and a couple other similar plaid shirts I've worn off and on, and it's been just something that kind of finds its way back into my wardrobe and then finds its way out, and back and forth.
So where has it been?
It's been all over the place. But the story is, I went to a concert with you at the U.S. Beer Company here in Chicago, and it was a band from Sarasota. And I had this brief moment of panic while we were riding our bikes over there. I thought to myself, there's going to be a bunch of other people from Sarasota there. What if I bump into them and it's somebody I know from like high school, and they think to themselves, he wore that same shirt in high school. What a loser. So I, for a brief moment when I was riding, was kind of gripped with fear that that's what was going to happen. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be awful. What am I going to do?
Do you think that about people when you see them with
No, I don't.
Why would you assume that somebody else would think that?
Because I suffer from crippling self-doubt.
Oh. I should have known that.
Yeah.
Okay. On the record for the camera, give us a brief summary of your life up until now.
Well, the 31st of August, 1983, I was born at Sarasota Memorial Hospital, where I lived in Sarasota, not the hospital, until I was 18 years old. When I moved to England on September the 13th, I think, of 2001. No, I was supposed to leave on the 13th, but I couldn't, and ended up leaving a week later because of September 11th. My flight was canceled, but I went over there and worked with kids and young people in Liverpool, England, for almost 2 years. Then came back to this country, went to college. I had no idea what I wanted to do, so I said, well, I liked photography, and I could do something practical, but that'd be boring. So I studied art and got a degree in fine art, photography, and a degree in art history from the University of South Florida. And had the opportunity to move to Chicago after I finished, and that's where I am.
Here you are. What is the nature of your relationship with Miss Goodwin?
That's a private question, which I don't think needs to be answered on the interwebs.
Sure. Sorry. Well, are you currently employed?
Sort of.
Explain.
I work as a art instructor at the Old Town School of Folk Music. Well, I'm just starting actually this week, but I've worked for them in some ways in the past here in Chicago. It's a pretty cool place. I'm going to be teaching art to kids, mostly young children from the ages of 2 to 7. Not all at once, different classes. And I work as a freelance art preparator, which means I prepare artwork and galleries for the installation of exhibitions.
Hanging shows.
Yes. So I hang stuff on walls, and I can do it so it's level and straight, and things line up with each other. So
nice.
It's tricky.
You won't want me helping you?
No.
Outside of that, do you have any current hobbies?
I, unlike Chelsea, am into cycling, although I've never ridden across the country. I just enjoy bicycling.
What do you enjoy about it?
I like the fact that my favorite mode of transportation is walking, because I like the pace. I like that you can see things and look at things and notice things when you walk that you don't in a car. But you don't cover a lot of ground walking, so cycling seems like the happy medium where you can go at a pace that will get you someplace in a reasonable amount of time. But at the same time, you go at a pace where you can see things around you and you can notice what's happening on the streets in a way that you don't when you're enclosed in a car.
Right on.
Yeah.
And biking around Chicago is pretty good.
Yeah, Chicago's a great city for biking. There's a lot of cycling infrastructure. Streets are pretty easily laid out. It's an easy place to find your way around. There's lots of bike lanes, and lots of other cyclists. So it's not there's other people on the road. Cars are used to seeing bicyclists, and bicyclists are used to cars. So it's relatively happy.
Okay.
I've worked a lot on my scowl these last couple of days. That's an important part of urban bicycling. Is you got to give a good scowl over your shoulder when the car tries to do
Could you
something.
demonstrate that for us, maybe?
No.
All right.
It's a situational thing.
We have to catch you when we're in a
situ,
car
as
behind
they
you
say.
when you're on a bike. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when you were in England then, you were in Liverpool?
Yes.
Okay, what would you say the biggest difference between Liverpool and here is? Or similarity? Difference or similarity, which one? You pick.
I don't know. That's hard. It's I think the most obvious thing is the accent. It's the kind of thing where it's such a heavy accent there that it takes some getting used to be able to get your ear in to hear and understand what people are saying, and you kind of wonder to yourself, are they actually speaking the same language?
Yeah, there's none of that when you come here, really.
Yeah. Liverpool, I think geographically is a much smaller city than Chicago, which lends itself to a different feel. I don't know. It's hard because I think in a lot of ways that we in this country are culturally very similar to England, but there's a lot of differences too that I don't think are apparent on the surface necessarily. But the way that they think about themselves and the way that they think about their language are kind of different.
Can you explain that at all? Or?
I think they tend to be more self-deprecating and more self-aware of what they say and how it affects people. And just as an example, I remember when I was over there, I was 18 years old and was an 18-year-old guy from Florida and acted like it. But I remember when people would ask me, "Oh, would you like to go here? Would you like to go here? You know, would you like to rent this movie or that movie?" I would say, "Oh, I don't care." And I say that a lot, which is pretty common. We all say that. And one of my friends there said, "Mike, you say that a lot. You say I don't care, but here we would consider that kind of rude. We would say I don't mind, because you do care. Like, you have a vested interest in what movie is rented or where we go. Like, you are participating, so you do have some care, hopefully. But to say you don't mind means you don't have a preference, and that there's a difference in those two things, and like that even just that one word makes a difference to who you're talking to, however subtle that." And I think that's kind of stuck with me, that choosing words should be done with a certain amount of care and more care than I usually use. So
it hasn't stuck with you too hard.
No. I said something about self-deprecating earlier.
Okay. Dreams, ambitions, aspirations for the future.
I'm sure Chelsea's listening with interest. I will say that my dreams and ambitions and aspirations for the future are kept so secret that I don't often tell myself, and so I don't know if I can tell the camera.
All right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add to this interview?
Only that I'm not sure if it's a noble or completely stupid thing that you're doing, Ralph, driving across the country, but good luck.
Thank you. Shout-outs?
Hello.
Hello. Say hi to your mother and your father.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Pop.
Because I'm sending them a link.
Are you?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, now that's on camera. They're going to get that. Nice. All right, can I use this for my website?
Yes, you can.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for letting me stay with you. Chelsea, you as well.
It's our pleasure.
It's been very nice. Goodbye.
the remotes broke.